Do excuse me if I look a little bit tired today. My makeup is about 11 hours old. It's like midnight right now. But I wanted to film an Ask Emma a little bit earlier than I'd originally planned because I have some fantastic news to share with you guys. So I'm going to tell you my news and then we will get straight in with the questions. News number one, my brand new music video, Magnetize, is out on Emma Blackery Vivo right now. I'm aware that I sound really like falsely happy and positive, but I'm genuinely really excited, and some of you guys who have already seen it, you're all saying that you love it and it's your favorite song of mine, and that means so much to me. So if you want to check that out, I will leave a link in the description below. I become a wrestler, which was painful, but I did become a wrestler for the day. And I had a great experience. I loved it. I hope you guys loved the song. The EP Magnetize is out May 26th, and my tour in the UK starts on May 27th. There will also be links down below in the description where you can buy tickets for my tour. If you want to come and see me sing some stuff in front of you, that would be great to see you all there. News number two. I haven't actually explicitly talked about this yet. I have linked it before, but I haven't talked about it. I have a Patreon now. I know that like every YouTuber has a Patreon right now because of the ad apocalypse, but people have been asking me to get one for literally years, and I've always refused. But I have one now. If you want to hear me talk about my reasons like more in depth, then there is a video on my Patreon page. You can also find the link for that down below. I want to say a massive thank you because we recently reached the $2,500 goal, which means that I'm going to be able to afford to get a cameraman to help me film some sketches again. You know, like the tampon commercial video that everyone loved. I'll be able to film stuff like that again in the future. I just need to write that sort of stuff. But I'm so excited because now I'm able to budget for that, and I'm really loving YouTube right now. I'm honestly having a really good time. I'm enjoying myself again for the first time in ages, and I'm hoping that that's showing. I don't know, but thank you very much. If you want to help with my Patreon, then you can. Don't feel pressured. You don't have to. It's not obligatory. I also have some book-related news to share with you, but I will share that in the next Ask Emma in just a couple of weeks' time. Maybe like 3 or 4 weeks' time, but yeah. It's late. Semantics aren't important. Anyway, time for the questions. Matthew Griffith. Oh, this is gonna take a while. Matthew Griffiths. Matthew Griffiths. I'm not even doing it on purpose, I'm so sorry. I've never been able to pronounce Griffiths. I can't do it. You know, when I was 8, I never used to be able to pronounce millennium. That was a word that I always struggled with. I'm over that hurdle now. Now it's Griffiths. I did it. Matthew Griffiths asked, what are your thoughts on Breath of the Wild? As most of you guys will know if you've watched me for quite some time, I'm a huge Zelda fan. I've played most Zelda games. I'm not gonna say I've played all of them, but I have played a massive majority of them. Zelda was like my childhood game. You know, Ocarina of Time was something that me and my dad played when I was a kid, when I was like 7 or 8 years old. Grew up with Majora's Mask, Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, which I loved. Skyward Sword, not really. I didn't like Skyward Sword. But you know, I got the tattoos. You know, I'm a huge Zelda fan. And I didn't like Breath of the Wild. I know, I'm a heathen, but I got it, and I was super excited about it, and I started playing it, and I felt like I'd just been dropped in the middle of a massive field with no instructions and stuff. And I've always preferred like the linear Zeldas, you know, where it's like, these are your temples, boom, 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 you know what you're doing, you know. It doesn't feel too challenging. You don't feel like you're just completely on your own. I know that a lot of people love those games where it's just like an open world and you can do whatever you want in whatever order you want, but it's not my type of game. So I have started playing Breath of the Wild. I think I'm on like the first Divine Beast and I can't beat the boss for it. I'm not in love with it. I'm not bonding with it at all, which is really sad because I've looked forward to that game for years. And I was disappointed. Bradley Strawn, I don't know why I started reading Braun Strowman in my head, but that's a really big compliment. Bradley Strawn asks, when someone meets you for the first time, what is the first thing they usually notice about you? It is definitely how short I am. I feel like I mentioned this a lot, but in case you didn't know, I'm 5'2", which is 157 centimeters if you're metric. I'm very small, I'm very short, and if I had a pound for every time I met one of you guys at a convention and heard you're so much shorter than I thought you'd be, I wouldn't need a Patreon is what I'm trying to say. It's obviously the first thing that people notice about me is that, you know, in videos when I'm standing up, people assume that I'm like 5'5", 5'6". I'm not. I'm a short stack. I also suffer from little man syndrome, which basically means I have a really short temper. Puff of Lightning asks, what makes you cringe more than anything else in this world? There is something that, sorry, just thinking about it is making me cringe. I'm gonna try not to be dramatic about this, but it's something that I hate the feeling and texture of wet paper. I can't touch it. I don't like thinking about it. The worst thought to me, it's like for me, it's like the equivalent of nails on a blackboard. You know how some people hate that? For me, it's the thought of paper being in my mouth. I know that sounds really odd, but like, you know, if you're like chewing a sweet and like a bit of paper ends up stuck to the sweet and you don't notice, it's such a horrible, unique texture, and my hands are like, you know, crimping up. Is that a word? Crimping? Once when I was at school, I got a detention, and because I, believe it or not, don't like authority figures, I ate my detention, and I can still feel it in my mouth when I think about it. I hate the thought of wet paper. So now you know. King Rich 212 asks, are you bisexual? Quite honestly, I am whatever my brain dictates at the time, man. You know, I'll go with whatever my vagina wants at the time. You know, I feel like that is what everyone should do. Just don't follow your heart, man. Follow your genitals. But if you're essentially asking whether or not I would fall in love with and eventually marry Carrie Hope Fletcher, then the answer is yes. Definitely yes. My love for her at this point is just known and just off the charts. I need to just stop making everything public, Emma. Androids and Being Asleep asks, is there anything completely extravagant on your rider? If you don't know what a rider is, it's essentially a list of things you have provided for you whilst you're on tour. And I will read you my rider if you want. If you want an exclusive view of Emma Blackery's official rider, this is what I had on my last tour, and this is what I'm gonna have on my new tour as well. Healthy snacks, in brackets, please vary day to day. I don't remember writing that, but I guess I might have done. Fruit selection, lemon and ginger twinings. You've gotta have lemon and ginger tea. It helps with your voice. 24 bottles of water. It's because I had a band, I'm not a funnel, you know? 1 jar of squeezy honey to go in the tea. Helps your voice. Muffins. Apparently I have muffins on my rider, which is great. No chocolate ones though. I don't like chocolate in anything except just pure chocolate. There'll be blueberry muffins, okay? Sue me. 1 large bag of sweet popcorn, which I have had taken off now because I don't like sweet popcorn. I like salty popcorn because you are what you eat. 6 cans of lemonade. I don't remember putting that on. That must have been the band, but okay. I like lemonade. I'll keep that on, sure. Why not? Okay, sure. And 4 lots of dark stage towels and 4 hand towels for the dressing room. You gotta have your own towels, man. You don't want a borrowed dressing room towel that other bands have, like, you know, scrubbed with. You gotta have fresh towels. Some bands actually request fresh underwear on their rider, which is a luxury I have yet to put on my rider because I don't feel like I'm at the fresh underwear stage of requesting things to be bought for me. I will buy my own underwear, please and thank you. Harry Lay asks, what video of your own do you dislike the most? I didn't bring my ukulele in like I was going to, but I'm sure you can imagine. I've said it before, I know that like the Google Plus thing did wonders for me and I'm grateful for how far it went, but I get asked to play it all of the time and I always feel bad not playing it live, but I can't bring myself to do it anymore. But it made a lot of people happy, which is why it's still around. Caitlin O'Sullivan asks, are you still salty that the WWE didn't hire you? I mean, a little bit. Don't get why I'm not the backstage interviewer for the UK Championship, but you know, that's their choice, I guess. Miss Flashbrand asks, if you were back in the time that there were pirates, what position in the crew would you think you'd be in? Which is like the best question I've ever been asked. That is so imaginative. Like, unless that's been copied and pasted from another person's Q&A, in which case, shame on you. But I think given the fact that I hate authority figures and that I am always competitive in any field that I go into, I would have to be the captain. I can't imagine taking orders from someone, especially now that I've been my own boss for so long. But I think if I was in a pirate crew and I wasn't the captain, I would find a way to become captain. Like, even in prison, like, I'm not gonna be a prison bitch for long, you know? I'm gonna make my way to the top, because there is no alternative. But I'm not gonna be in prison, because I'm a good person. ABCDEF asks, well, says, I wish you weren't irrelevant anymore. Yeah, same. I'm optimistic though. I'm optimistic that this channel's gonna make a comeback. Maybe I'm foolish for thinking that. Maybe in a year I'll be laughing and going, huh, you were wrong. But I feel like this channel can have new life breathed into it, you know? I just have to work hard and make good content again. Regular good content, because the last year it's been slipping, you know? But I'm positive that I won't be irrelevant forever. Jimmy Stardust asks, given the chance, would you be a guest on Good Mythical Morning? Absolutely I would. I love Good Mythical Morning. I watch every episode. I love Rhett and Link. I saw them at VidCon and they are super tall, but I knew that they would not know who I was, so I didn't introduce myself because I can't do that. But I am not cool or funny or relevant enough to ever be on Good Mythical Morning, but I would love to be one day, because I think they're great. Brittany Wentz asks, hey Emma, what's your craziest childhood memory? So I think this happened when I was maybe like 12 or 13. I'm gonna go with 12. My dad and I were walking from our house to the town center where we lived, and we walked past a woman who was standing outside of her front door just crying and screaming. So we go over to her and we're like, hey, what's wrong? Are you okay? Turns out she had run downstairs to open her door and talk to her neighbor really quickly, and her front door had shut behind her, locking her out of her house. And her baby, who was only a few months old, was locked in the house alone in a bathtub. This baby, who could pretty much only just about sit up on his own, was in a bathtub, which is scary for any mother. So this woman is panicking. Don't ask me why she even ran downstairs and left the baby alone in the first place. I don't know, it's not my place to judge, but this woman is like frantic. So my dad says, right, okay, we're gonna run around the back. So we ran around the back of this woman's house. We jumped over her fence. There was a Doberman, but I had to climb through her kitchen window, which was only slightly ajar. We had to like wrench this thing open. I've crawled through the kitchen and run into her living room and opened her front door from the other side. And she ran upstairs and the baby was fine, thank goodness. But that was the day that I potentially saved a baby's life. And that was definitely my craziest childhood memory. And finally, we're gonna end on a little bit of a sad note, I think, here. Julie All Over asks, hi Emma, where is Sally and how is she doing? Can you show her to us? Oh, Sally was my hamster. She died a year and a half ago. So I'm not really sure I should show her to you. She's definitely buried in my dad's backyard somewhere. I think she's actually in a Tupperware container, which is gross. I don't know why my dad just didn't return her to the earth, but she's not in a good, she's in a good place, but she's not in a good physical place. My other hamster Harry died at the beginning of the year. They're both dead. They both got old and died, and I'm not gonna get another pet for a really long time because I'm always away. So that's the end of Ask Emma. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks so much for watching until the end. I know this was a little bit long, as my Ask Emmas always are. I'm sorry if my good mood has weirded anyone out. I know it's not the norm. Please make sure to check out my last couple of videos if you haven't already. I've started this new kind of phase with YouTube. You know, I've found something I'm really enjoying doing right now. I made a video where I wore clear plastic jeans for a day, which was interesting. I also made a video about pug sitting Edgar and Maya, which are Felix and Marcia's pugs. That was a fun, swell old time we had. And next week I'm also uploading a video where my dad does my makeup. Drunk. So you got that to look forward to. Please check out my music video. Love you very much, and I will speak with you all next week. Catch you later!